Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, my dear girls? Inshallah, today we are going to complete talking about the first Umayyad caliphs. Of course, you know that the Umayyad Caliphate started, or the one who started the Umayyad Caliphate was Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan, just after the death of Sayyidina Ali ibn Abi Talib in 661 AD. Last time we talked about the first three Umayyad caliphs who were from the Sufyanids. Today we are going to talk about the Marawanids. Let us start. Caliph Abdul Malik ibn Marwan from the year 685 AD until the year 705 AD. Marwan's son Abdul Malik ruled the caliphate for about 20 years. I think it's a very long time. He united the Muslims again, expanded the caliphate, and then set about creating an efficient way of governing. What's the meaning of this? It means that Caliph Abdul Malik ibn Marwan, and Marwan, for your knowledge, and if you go back to the timeline, you can see that that man or that one, Abdul Malik ibn Marwan, Marwan the first was the brother of Muawiyah the first. Marwan the first was the brother of Muawiyah the first. You remember Muawiyah the first, his son Yazid the first, and his son, his grandson Muawiyah the second. They were the first three Umayyad caliphs. But Marwan the first, whose son Abdul Malik was the son or the brother of Muawiyah the first, Abdul Malik ibn Marwan. You can say that Abdul Malik can say my uncle for Muawiyah, or Muawiyah was the uncle of Abdul Malik, that caliph whom we are talking about now. Muawiyah first was his uncle. Okay, if you want to know the relationship better, you can go back every time to the family tree. Abdul Malik ruled the caliphate for 20 years. That 20 years is a good time or enough time. He united the Muslims community and expanded the caliphate and set about creating an efficient way of governing. What did he do in order to do this? The first thing he did was to regain control of the areas of Iraq and Al-Hijaz. You remember that there were conflicts, and the Umayyad Caliph lost control of them. He regained control of these areas, and then he expanded the caliphate into North Africa and conquered the city of Carthage, now in Tunisia. Of course, you know Carthage in Tunisia. So, first of all, he recontrolled again the areas of Al-Hijaz and Al-Iraq, and then he expanded the caliphate to North Africa and Carthage in Tunisia. What did Abdul Malik do? Abdul Malik was a good administrator. He was a good administrator. Administrator, of course, you know the admins. Yeah, he was a good administrator. He made Arabic the official language and introduced a regular postal service. This is what he do. He made Arabic the official language and introduced a regular postal service. You know what's the meaning of postal service? Postal service means that you can write letters and send them and receive them in many areas. Of course, he also introduced the new coins were also made during his rule, and that was the first time for the Umayyads to make coins like this. Can you see these pictures? These two pictures are for Abdul Malik, depicted on the coin of the time. Most coins had only writing and no pictures. Most coins had only drawing but no pictures, and it is said that this is a picture of Abdul Malik ibn Marwan. Okay, that was Abdul Malik ibn Marwan. Let us talk about another one. Caliph Al-Walid ibn Abdul Malik from the year 705 until the year 715. Like his father, Al-Walid was a good administrator also. He built hospitals, mosques, and schools, and he encouraged artists. During his rule, Al-Masjid al-Nabawi, the Prophet's mosque here in Medina, was repaired the Al-Aqsa Mosque was rebuilt in Al-Quds, and the Great Mosque was built in Damascus. The Grand Umayyad Mosque of Damascus. So he did three great things. He repaired the Prophet's mosque here in Medina, and he rebuilt Al-Aqsa Mosque in Al-Quds, and also built the Great Umayyad Mosque in Damascus. Al-Walid also expanded the caliphate, and he sent his armies out to North Africa and the east of Sindh and Punjab. Of course, you know that they are part of India and Pakistan now. He also started to conquer Europe. By the end of his caliphate, most of the areas today known as Spain and Portugal were under the Muslim rule. So look at this small color in Europe up. That were Al-Andalus, or now they are called Spain and Portugal. At his time, or during his rule, they were part of the Muslim Caliphate. Can you see how much the Muslim Caliphate was so large? Can you imagine this? Big part from Africa and a great deal of Asia and a part from Europe. All this was the Umayyad Caliphate and the Muslim state. The last one that we are going to talk about today is Caliph Sulaiman ibn Abdul Malik. He ruled from the year 715 until the year 717. Of course, he ruled for just 2 years, and they were not enough. Although some Muslims wanted Al-Walid's son Yazid to succeed like his father, it was Al-Walid's younger brother Sulaiman who became the new Marawanid Caliph. So Caliph Sulaiman was not the son of Walid, but he was the brother. He was the brother of Al-Walid. He became the new Marawanid Caliph. Sulaiman laid siege to the Byzantine city of Constantinople, which we today as Istanbul. Istanbul is a very important and a very famous city in Turkey now. He made the siege around it for a long time, but he never succeeded in capturing the city. He died on his way to the battle there. He had a battle in Turkey, but he did not reach the city. He died on his way to this battle. Of course, he ruled only for 3 years, and it was a very short time. He could not do a lot of achievements. Up to now, we discussed about 6 of the Umayyad Caliphs, the first 3 and some of the Marawanids. If you want to gain more knowledge about the 14 of them, you can read more, and you have the internet. You can search the encyclopedia. I hope that you understand the lesson of today, and goodbye till we meet again. Thanks for being with me.